stand right here. Turn face that way, I'll take a photo of you.
Turn my back on this bunch?
I don't know. All right, guys, on the count of three, go nuts. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so before we get started, last night we were talking, and I asked you, I'm like, how do you like Salt Lake Comic Con? And you said that it's one of the best organized cons, but you said it's got some of the best fans you've ever seen in your life.
Well, that was mainly so they would bring me free food.
And we did.
No, this is a great con, and God, there's like tens of you out here. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm glad to be here, and thank you, Chris. Thanks to the con for having me.
You're welcome, guys. Give it up for Jim Beaver.
It's okay if I do what I want?
Yes. Solid Comic Con.
Thanks, Chris. Morning, Gidgets. Oh my gosh, you guys are so easily manipulated. That's one of the reasons I love you. So, how many of you have been to this con before? Okay. How many of you think this one is way better than the last one? How many of you think that's because I'm here? Way to pander, that's right, man. The elixir of life. It happens every time. I'm 66 years old, I take off my jacket and everybody screams, "You guys are hard up." I guess you're all wondering why I called you here. Look. These guys are over here. Just a little thing between us. I just said, take your foot out of the mashed potatoes. Okay, well, we are here in Salt Lake, and I don't know why, but I guess probably the smartest thing to do would be for me to stop trying to think of something to say and let some of you guys ask some questions. Is that why you're standing there? You're the guy who's going to ask a question? Oh yeah? Uh-oh. A good one, let's hear it.
So, with the scripting of Deadwood being so colorful, off air, did you notice your language being more colorful as well?
I spent 8 years in the Marines, man. Deadwood required a certain amount of toning down. So, yeah, no. Hi.
Hi. So I have a follow-up to that. You're wonderful as Ellsworth on Deadwood. And I was wondering, are they keeping you in the loops? They keep teasing us with a movie. If that happens, are you coming back? Maybe a flashback.
I don't know. They're not keeping me in the loop as in calling me up and saying, yeah, you're going to be in it. I haven't heard anything other than the same rumors everybody else has heard. But, you know, it's weird because it's not the kind of show that normally did flashbacks or, I mean, Supernatural. Yes. Oh, you've seen that. Supernatural is a much better show for coming back to when you're dead. It's a lot more practical than Deadwood. You know, when I left the set of Deadwood the last time, I was saying goodbye to everybody. I said goodbye to David Milch, the creator, and producer, and writer, and he said, "Well, I'll see you next summer when we start up again." And because at that time we didn't know if it was going to be canceled. And I said, "David, did you notice what we shot today?" Which was, let's just say, it wasn't a great day for Ellsworth. And he said, "Don't worry, there's going to be ghosts." He didn't tell me it was going to be ghosts on another show, but so I wouldn't put it past him to bring Ellsworth back, but who knows? I've got my doubts. I'd love to go back. I'd sell my mother to the Arabs to go back, but maybe even my teenage daughter. Actually, maybe her first. Teenagers, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I'd go back in a heartbeat, but they haven't said anything to me. He's still writing, man. It could take him 5 years to write the thing. So, anyway, thanks. Am I missing a microphone spot? Is it always going to be here? Okay, cool. Then that way I can actually see who I'm talking to. How are you? You ready?
Yeah. Hi. So you were born in Wyoming. And
That's right.
I want to know,
But that one was warm.
how did you get out?
They asked me to leave. No, the truth is that I was born in Laramie, and you have to go to at least Utah to find anybody who ever heard of Laramie. But my parents were just there fairly briefly, and we moved back to Texas when I was about. When I was about 6 or 8 months old, so I'm not much of a Wyomingian. Is that the word? I know. Going for a joke here, man. But yeah, so that's how I got out. My parents put me in a car seat. They can't do that anymore, but thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name's Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi. I was wondering, on Supernatural, how was it working with Jared and Jensen?
Who? You talking about the two tall guys? It was okay. No, they're very sweet guys. I really love working with them. They're funny, and charming, and if you've ever seen them at a convention, you know, they can keep that act up for a pretty long time. They're great guys. I miss working with them, and I hope they give me a chance to go back and work with them some more. That is the best thing about Supernatural. They can. Yeah, so the only thing I hate about Jared and Jensen is that when I work with them, people think I'm short. And then I get, between that and the clothes they make Bobby wear, I go to a lot of conventions and hear the same things over and over. Oh, you're not short. Oh, you're not fat. It's all in the optics, folks. You stand next to mutants and you look short. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Michael from Westminster, Maryland, and my question is which character did you enjoy playing more? Your guy from X-Files or Supernatural?
Oh, Supernatural, very much. The guy from X-Files, I don't even think he had a name, man. Unless his name was Coroner. What I really loved about working on X-Files was that was where I met Kim Manners, who, you guys know who Kim was, our great executive producer and director on Supernatural. But I first met him on X-Files, and that was a blast. X-Files, I just remember that I was happy that I was pretty much the only person in the cast who didn't get covered in goo. If you saw that episode, you know what I'm talking about. The X-Files, as good a show as it was and as fun as it was to do, it was just a blip in my career. Supernatural has taken on more of the personality of Boyle. It's been great. It's been great. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
What was your least favorite episode of Supernatural?
About 90% of the ones since season 7. It's, I've found that it's just really hard to like a Supernatural episode if I'm not in it. Thank you. You're a wise and perspicacious group. Of the ones I was in, it's hard to think of any of them I didn't like, but when Bobby dies? No, that was a great episode. I liked that episode. I didn't like dying, but I liked, the episode. There was, let me think, I think it's Magnificent 7. I had to try and break a door down in that diner where it was all full of demons. And I really had to try to break the door down for about 5 hours. And my left shoulder was over here somewhere by the end of the night. But that was just, that's just part of the game. So I don't have a not favorite. I love them all. I miss me too. Hi.
Hi, Mr. Beaver. Welcome to Salt Lake.
Oh, Mr. Beaver's my father. I'm Jim.
Okay, so we all know and love Bobby. What's your favorite part about playing him?
The alcohol. I have a highball about once a year. So, Bobby's alcohol intake is a lot larger than mine. My favorite part, the truth is, my favorite part is being with that crew. If you're lucky enough to be on a show for a long time, you become sort of family with the crew, but it's never happened to the extent that it has on Supernatural. If you had a chance to hang out with those guys, you would know what I'm talking about. It's a fabulous group of people, and I love them like brothers and sisters. And so that would be the main thing. Playing the actual part, I just love, taking it out on Sam and Dean. It's fun. Yeah, I mean, that boohoo princess scene, that stuff's fun, man. Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
Aren't you supposed to be in school?
Yeah.
She's honest.
So I was wondering how you felt when you found out Bobby was gonna die.
Pretty much the same way you guys felt. Yeah, I cried a lot, and no, they told me. Well, first of all, the phone rings. I pick it up. They say, "I've got both your executive producers on the line." That's bad right there. Every once in a while, one of them will call. When they both call, they're backing each other up with something unpleasant. And they said, "We got good news and bad news. We're killing you off." I hoped that was the bad news. And they said, "But don't worry, you're coming back as a ghost." I went, "Oh, well, that's not so bad. That's not so bad." And I lived with that for a couple of months up until the time we shot it. And then when we were shooting it, I'm figuring, okay, I'm going to die in this episode, but then I'll be back in a couple of weeks as a ghost. And we'll just keep going. But then they had this big goodbye party for Bobby. And I thought, this doesn't sound like I'm coming back for long. And that was when I first realized it was kind of semi-permanent. And then I took it well. I threw up for about 3 weeks. And yeah, it wasn't fun, but I didn't like it. The fact that they killed Bobby off gave me some incredible opportunities on other projects. I wouldn't have been able to do Justified. I wouldn't have been able to do Breaking Bad. I wouldn't have been able to do Crimson Peak. You're the ones who saw it. Cool. But I really hated leaving Supernatural. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not gone. It's just I'm on vacation. Thank you.
Hi there. My name's Zach, and I just wanted to know, when Bobby Singer dies in Supernatural, he gets succeeded by Garth. And I wanted to know your thoughts on how Garth takes on that role.
You're presuming I watched it after I died. Garth. That's that scrawny guy, right? Yeah. I didn't really see it. I don't know, somehow the show had lost some of its appeal. I think I saw one episode with Garth, and mainly I didn't realize until sometime later that that guy I had talked to on the phone that time, how are you still alive, was the same guy it was the same Garth, but I think I saw one episode with him, and DJ's a terrific actor, but I don't have a great deal of opinion because I didn't really see much of what he got to do, so lousy answer. Thanks. Hi.
My name is Caden.
And you're supposed to be in school too.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to school today. But my question is if you could go back to Supernatural as like Bobby again, would you?
In a heartbeat. I don't know if dead guys have heartbeats, but yeah, I would. I just the other day I sent an email to the executive producers on the show, and the email just said, "Fade in, an open field, grass as far as you can see. The camera tilts up to show an azure blue sky. Suddenly a dot appears in the sky and comes hurtling toward Earth. The camera follows it down as it slams into the Earth and creates a crater. We don't see what's in the crater. Dust rises from it. And then a voice, balls." After that, I just wrote, "Can you tell I'm homesick?" So, no, they said they're always looking for chances to bring Bobby back. And I'll be surprised if they don't think of one. They're pretty smart guys. So, thank you, whoever that truant was. Hi.
I was wondering how you got involved with and what it was like working on something as small scale as The New Adventures of Peter and Wendy versus something like Supernatural.
Well, how many of you have seen The New Adventures of Peter and Wendy? Oh, yeah, thousands. You should watch it. It's a web series about Peter Pan and Wendy as adults living in the modern world. And it's kind of a hoot. I got involved because the actress who plays Wendy, Paula Rhodes, and who produces the show, is an old friend of mine. And she called up and said, "Would you play my father?" Considering the last time I had acted with her, we were naked on stage as lovers, but now I'm her father. Apparently I got older and she didn't. It was just my friend Paula called up and I'll do pretty much anything for her. So that's how I got involved. But it's been a lot of fun. We just finished shooting, what is this, season 3 or I don't know, something like that. But check it out. It's online. I think it's on YouTube or something. It's a great little show. There, it's a web series. It's like 10-minute or 5-minute episodes, and we've done 2 or 3 seasons of it. So, thank you. Hi.
Hi,
I recognize that outfit.
I'm Gail.
You look a lot better than the guy who usually wears it.
Thank you. Jared and Jensen are notorious pranksters on set,
Here it comes.
especially with Misha. Did they torment you during filming?
They tried. They love to play with Misha because Misha can't keep a straight face. And they've tried a number of times with me, but I can keep a straight face. And there's always something, because Jared is incorrigible. Jensen has a modicum of professionalism, but Jared he can't help himself. He's a 6'7" infant. They don't bother me too much. They try, but as I've often said, if Bobby happens to be in a hospital bed or lying around in a coma or something, and has to wake up and give a dramatic speech, you can bet Jared is standing at the end of the bed twisting my toes. And I've had to have 5 replaced. So, yeah, they don't give me too hard a time. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Solana, and I was just wondering, what do you do mentally and emotionally to prepare for each role that you end up doing?
Most of the time I try to learn the lines. And then I pretty much go to work and do them. I'll try and give you a serious answer. I normally work fairly instinctively. I read the script and I get a feel for who I am if I haven't played the character before. I just get a feel for it, and I get a feel for how I would say these things if I were that person, and it's basically a little more elaborate version of pretend, but sometimes certain kinds of material, certain kinds of scenes require something a little deeper, and sometimes you have to do some research, but for the most part I leave that to the writers. I figure if they've written something, they know what they've dug into the history of it, and I don't have to. Not every actor works that way. Probably most don't. But there's as many different ways of preparing as there are actors, and for the most part, I kind of fly by instinct and try to know the words, because I'm very particular about saying the words the way they're written, not like some people I've worked with. I don't know if you guys remember a guy named Rufus. Rufus never read a line he couldn't make better. But Steven's fun. So anyway, thank you. Hi.
Hail, Bobby.
Oh, look, there's you. Hell yes.
I'm Brianna, and I was wondering if you could be any monster from Supernatural, which monster would you choose to be?
Monster. I mean, does that include guys like the Trickster? Yeah. Well, I remember the first episode we saw the Trickster, and he created a couple of young lovelies who were, and I figure if he can do that, that might be a good gig. So I'll go with him.
So I wanted to ask, at one point in Supernatural, I remembered that Bobby happened to get paralyzed from the waist down. How did you feel about taking on that role?
It was an interesting situation. I didn't know at the time that it was going to last pretty much the whole season. And you know, in Supernatural, you get the script, if you're lucky, 10 days ahead of time, and you don't get the script for the next 12. So it's all, you kind of learn about what's going to happen in bits and pieces. So I didn't know how long it was. First of all, the main thing is I took it very seriously, because I know that I was just portraying someone in that situation, and I could get up at the end of the day and not worry about it. So I was always determined to honor the fact that the character, like so many people, can't get out of the chair at the end of the day and go home. That was really important to me, that it didn't become something too terribly lighthearted. On the other hand, I had a roommate in college who was in a wheelchair for life, and he had a lot of fun with it. You know, he made the jokes that the rest of us couldn't make, and he taught. It was weird. He taught me some cool stunts in the chair, and I tried to honor the reality of it. As an actor, it was a real challenge in a lot of ways. For one thing, you don't see this when you watch the show, but the floors of the set are littered with cables. And so you spend, anytime they tell you to move, there's this thing that happens. But the hardest thing is that they set marks for you where you have to hit your mark so that you're in focus. And if you don't hit your mark, you have to do the shot over again. And I discovered it's really hard to see your mark when you're sitting down. And so I kept missing my mark, and it was, the crew was giving me this, thought you were supposed to be a professional, man. Can't even hit your mark. Wow. Well, I was like, you sit here and try and hit the mark. It's not easy. Hello. It's funny that the relief that Bobby felt when he was raised up out of the chair was something akin to the relief I felt, because it was good to get up. It was good not to be hemmed in like that. For one thing, the show kind of hemmed me in as a result of being in a wheelchair, because it meant Bobby couldn't go as many places with the boys, so I spent half the season answering the phone, it meant I didn't have to actually work with Jared and Jensen, because they recorded their side of the phone calls on different days. But the truth is, I enjoy working with the other actors, and to spend an entire episode, you idiots. I was glad to get out of the chair just so I could go back and hunt demons, full strength. But anyway, thanks for the question, man. Hi.
Hi, I'm Ellen.
It's a great outfit you've almost got on.
Thank you. So, one of my favorite shows of all time is Justified. And as Sheriff Shelby, eventually, did you realize the arc that your character was going to take from, because you were in there right at the beginning, so it was kind of shocking how you became such a major character towards the end, and I was wondering whether you knew that was what you had in store for you.
Not only did I not know that's what they had in store for me, they didn't know what they had in store for me. They had set that storyline up at the beginning of season 4, and they hadn't figured out who the guy was going to be. And they were 4 episodes into the season. I'd already done a couple. And before they decided that it would be me, and I called them up just to let them know that I had booked a movie, and I wasn't going to be available for a couple of 3 episodes. And I wasn't under contract to the show, so I could do other things. So I just called them up as a courtesy call, say I'm gonna be off somewhere else for 3 or 4 weeks. And like 10 seconds later, the executive producer calls and says, "Do you have any idea what we've got planned for you?" And I said, "No, because nobody's told me." And he said, "Well, the whole season is built around you. Please don't take the other job." So I didn't. And I got to have a really fun time in season 4 of Justified. So if you haven't seen the series, check it out, because there's some twists in that season that are kind of delicious. So, thank you. Hi.
Hi.
School.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
I really liked I really liked your part in Supernatural, because Bobby is really awesome. But I wanted to ask you, how was it playing on the show Psych for that one episode?
Psych was fun. I got to play cowboy again. For those of you who haven't seen it, thought it was that thing from Alien for a second there. If you haven't seen the Psych episode I did, it takes place in a cowboy amusement park, theme park, and I played a gunfighter, and that was particularly fun because I worked my way through college doing exactly that. So it was kind of like going back to my old college job, which my professors in theater had always told me I probably would. It was also a great deal of fun because Tim Amundsen, who you guys know from playing Kane on Supernatural and from playing what's his face on Psych, Lassie. I knew it was some kind of dog. He and I had been on Deadwood together, so it was great fun. We're very good friends, and you know, I ended up marrying his widow on Deadwood, so it made sense that he got to shoot me in Psych. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you. Go to school.
I really enjoyed your work on Breaking Bad.
Thank you.
I'd love to know how you got to know Vince Gilligan, whether it was through X-Files, and if you'd be willing to share some experiences of working with him and Brian.
No, I didn't know Vince from X-Files. I don't believe I met him at that time. First time I met him was on the set of Breaking Bad. I was in the middle of shooting, and then there were none on Supernatural. Is that the one where the thing comes out of the ear? And yeah. And they called and said, can you come do a day in Albuquerque on Breaking Bad? And I was in the middle of the episode, but I had a day off, and so I flew down to Albuquerque and did that first scene that I did in season 4. And it was really weird because while we were shooting and then there were none in Vancouver, everybody was sick on the set. The whole cast was sick. Our Serge Ledesur, who was our cinematographer, ended up in a hospital, and everybody was sick except Jared. We all wanted him to be sick, but somehow he got by. But I mean, we were all hacking, and it actually kind of helped me because I had to do that weird monster voice, and that's kind of how I was talking at the time anyway. So I flew from Vancouver down to Albuquerque to do this thing, and I thought it's a one-shot. Doesn't matter what my voice sounds like because I had this horrible chest thing, and so I did Breaking Bad, and then a year later they bring me back, and I'm like, oh God, how do I do that voice? Because I'm not sick now. But it was. I don't even know how I got the job. They just called up and said, "Come do it." So working with Brian is just terrific. He's a wonderful guy, and he's a wonderful actor. And considering I only had 2 scenes in the whole run of Breaking Bad, I've had so much comment about those 2 scenes, which is weird to me. That people even noticed them because they go by pretty quick. But I had a great deal of fun, and if you're watching Better Call Saul, I'm back doing the same character. Apparently, sooner or later, everybody needs a gun dealer. Go America.
Hi, Jim. I love seeing your relationship with your daughter that you have, and I'm just wondering, is she
steps and get into the business? And if so, as a parent, how do you feel about that?
She does want to get into the business. She wants to be a professional singer, but now that I've introduced her to musical theater, she wants to be in musical theater. And you know, I've always been really torn. Even before she showed an interest, I thought there was a chance she might. And I've always been really torn because on one hand, it's incredibly hard to make a living in the business. It's like less than 1% of all the members of Screen Actors Guild make a living, and only about half of them make a decent living. So out of 150,000 Screen Actors Guild members, that I don't know what 1% of 100. Well, it's 15,000. That's not very many. No, that's not 15,000. It's 1,500. So you can see it's not a reliable source of income. So I worry about that. At the same time, how can I tell my kid not to do the thing that has given me the most pleasure in my life? Pretty much the most. And she's coming along as a singer. She hasn't acted yet, but she wants to. She subscribes to these online casting things, and she keeps coming up to me and saying, you know, do you think I could play a 23-year-old mom? I said, you're 15. And she said, yeah, but you know, I could. I said, that's not really the way it works, babe. But, you know, she's more determined than I ever was, and I was pretty determined, so we'll see. Hi.
Hi. I'm just wondering, with, you know, you've done Supernatural and Breaking Bad and all this TV stuff, you've also had an amazing career on stage. I'm wondering if there's any particular role, stage or screen, that you would like to act someday.
Oh, God, yeah. I just got finished playing one of the great roles in the American theater, Big Daddy and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. And that was an amazing experience, which weirdly I had never given any thought to that role. There are certain things that I've thought about, you know, great roles in the theater that I'd like to do, and I'd never thought about that one, and now I'm so glad I did it. It was wonderful. I have a dream of doing King Lear, and I have a real dream of playing the father, James Tyrone, in Long Day's Journey into Night. You know, I just hope they let me do it while I'm young enough to remember the lines. So yeah, I'm always looking for something wonderful to do in the theater. It's kind of hard because there's no money, and my kid orders a lot of Grubhub. But every chance I get, I will. Yeah. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Francie.
Hi, Francie.
Hi, Jim. So I was just wondering, you've killed a lot of monsters on Supernatural. Say you were in a real life situation, which one do you think you could actually take down?
Well, maybe those two girls in that Trickster episode. Define takedown. In real life, probably none of them. Bobby's a lot stronger and braver than I am, yeah, I'd probably get my butt kicked. But by those two, who cares? Hi, we're getting down close to the end here, I see. The clock here telling me, shut up.
Okay, I'll hurry.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Vanessa, and I'm a huge fan of Crimson Peak, and I was wondering if you were able to visit the set, the house they built Because I know your character was killed off before that happened.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
The house, those of you who saw Crimson Peak may not know this, but that house, that sort of haunted house that takes up half the movie, was real. I mean, not real like you could drive down the street and see it, but it was on a soundstage, but they built the whole house on the soundstage. Lots of times they build portions, you know, one room will be on this soundstage and another room will be on this one, and the basement will be right next to the attic. That's not how they did it. They built the house, and everything you see on screen as part of that house was real. And so if the character went upstairs and went around a corner into a bedroom, so did the camera. There were no tricks there. I saw the model of it, which was astonishing, but I never got to see the actual house. I feel horrible about that because I was while they were shooting the England scenes, I was off for a few weeks, and by the time I got back, they'd torn it down. So I never did. I only got to see it in the movie, but I know everybody talked about how amazing it was. And if you haven't seen the movie, go see it. Thank you. It was a great experience. Guillermo del Toro is one of the two true geniuses I've ever worked with, and it was an extraordinary experience. And he keeps telling me I'm going to do something else with him soon, so fingers crossed. They're telling me that I have 33 seconds, 31 seconds, 30, 20, 29 seconds. Anyway, I have to go.